Hello and welcome to the Spotlight video for the HCM Fluid Life Events. In this video, we will cover the following topics. An overview of Fluid Life Events, a demo on how as an employee you can submit an adoption event for approval, adding additional steps to a template, configuring an acknowledgement, a demo on how to configure an acknowledgement, configuring a questionnaire, and a demo on how to configure a questionnaire, setting up Fluid Life Events, and finally, a demo on cloning an adoption template to add the steps for an acknowledgement and a survey. By the end of this video, we will also provide links where you can find more information about these topics. Overview of Fluid Life Events. We will begin with the feature overview. The Fluid Benefits Life Events and Benefits Enrollment uses the Activity Guide Composer framework to give users a step-by-step utility to record a life event and make changes to their benefits enrollment data. The Fluid Life Events process allows employees to update their key personal as well as enrollment information all from one self-service transaction using a device of their choice. The Fluid Benefits Life Events helps you define event templates to support end-to-end HR and benefits business processes. This supports compliance with your rules and business policies when changes in your working or personal life result in changes to your benefits. PeopleSoft delivers 4 sample life events templates. As these templates are system data and gets refreshed every time new updates are delivered, we strongly recommend that you clone the templates before using them for your organization. You can also add effective dated rows to the templates. The Activity Guide Composer makes this process easier. You also have the option to set up a brand new template. Demo: Submitting an adoption event for approval as an employee. Log on to the Employee Self-Service homepage. Benefit Details is your one-stop tile for reviewing and changing benefits data. The Fluid Benefit Details page provides you with a navigation collection of benefits-related pages on the left panel. Our goal today is to process a life event. The I adopted for Team ABS is a newly cloned template we will be using throughout the demo. Before we show you how to clone and add steps, let's walk through the employee's view of the activity guide. Select the adoption life event and enter the adoption date. This initiates the life event and launches the adoption life event activity guide. First, we have a welcome step. Click Next to go to the acknowledgement step. The benefits enrollment step in this activity guide is dependent on the acknowledgement step, and hence, unless the employee provides consent, he or she will not be able to make changes to their benefit plan choices. While the acknowledgement step is not delivered in the 4 PeopleSoft life event templates, it can be easily added to the activity guide. We will demonstrate this later in this Spotlight video. Let's agree to the terms and conditions and click Next. On the adoption date step, check to ensure that the adoption date is correct. We had previously entered the adoption date in the Benefit Details Life Event page, but that was only to start the life event and launch the activity guide. The adoption date entered in this step gets saved as part of the life event process. By verifying and submitting the date, Benefits Administration automatically opens the Benefits Enrollment event. Let's click Submit and go to the next step. An adoption event may require the user to submit proof, such as an adoption certificate, and obtain approval before changes can be made to the benefit plan choices. Let's use the Add Attachment button and upload a proof document. Because we are requiring approval, the employee cannot actually make benefit enrollment changes unless the benefits administrator has approved the transaction. But the employee can navigate to other steps in the process such as dependent beneficiary, pay and compensation, and direct deposit. As you can see, the activity guide also allows you to have steps that are outside of the benefits module. Once the administrator approves the proof, the employee can return to the Life Events activity guide and complete the enrollment. An employee can also add notes if needed. The newly adopted child can be added as a dependent on the dependent beneficiary step or within the Fluid Benefits enrollment. Let's see how it works with enrollment. Click the Start My Enrollment button and it takes us to the Fluid pages for benefits enrollment. This page provides information regarding the employee's benefits enrollment data. The upper half of the page displays the enrollment summary, including costs and credits of the plans the employee is enrolled in, a pie representation of the costs from the benefits plans compared to the total of those costs, and a review button. There is a right-hand panel giving contact information and additional resources. Below, we have the benefit plans. You can choose to see these in a grid or as cards. Now, let's make a few changes to a couple of the benefit plans. Let's add the adopted child as a dependent to the medical and dental plans. Enter the child's personal details. For address, we will use the option Same as Mine. Enter the national ID and phone. Save the details. You can see that the new dependent details are now displayed. We will select the adopted child as a dependent in the medical plan and update the primary care provider ID. Now, let's update the dental plan to add the new dependent. The cards easily indicate the changes made to the medical and dental plans. You can see the bar at the top of the cards changes its color to green. Also, the number of dependents has now increased to 3. Let's review the enrollment. The Review Enrollment page provides a preview that can be reviewed online or printed. Now that the changes are complete, let's submit the enrollment. An alert window pops up for confirmation. If you want another look at your plan choices, click the View button. Let's click Done. Now we'll move to the next step in the activity guide. The Benefit Statements step provides you with a historical view of preview and confirmation statements. You can use the filters to easily select the type of statements you wish to see. We will click the first row to see a preview of the enrollment changes we just made. Note that the confirmation statement for our Adoption Life event is not available at this point. The confirmation statements are not available until the Benefits Administrator has validated and finalized the event. The next step in our life event process is a benefits survey. This is an additional step added to the cloned template. Later on in this spotlight video, you will see in detail how the questionnaire was configured and added as a step to the new template. Let's take the survey and save our answers. The last step in this activity guide is the summary. Here you can see the status of all the steps in the guide. If you had previously skipped a step during the process or wish to revisit a step, you can use the Go to Step button to jump to the right page. Please note, the summary step is an important step. This closes the benefits administration process. Click Complete. This concludes an employee's process for an adoption life event. Adding additional steps to a template. Now we will look at the PeopleSoft delivered life event templates and how we can create new templates by cloning like the one we just used. The PeopleSoft delivered templates include commonly used steps in each life event, but we know that every organization has a different process. The Activity Guide Composer allows you to delete steps and add additional steps. Here is an example of some of the steps that you may want to have in your life event template. You can include any of these additional steps available by cloning a delivered template, updating a cloned template, creating a new activity guide template, or adding a new effective dated row to a delivered template. In this manner, you can create new versions of the life event templates to cater specifically to your organization's demands. Later on in this spotlight video, you will watch demos on how the PeopleSoft delivered templates can be cloned and updated to create new templates. Configuring an acknowledgement. One of the steps available for use in the Activity Guide Composer is the acknowledgement framework. But before adding an acknowledgement step to your Fluid Life Event template, you need to configure the acknowledgement. Only users with the Acknowledgement Administrator role will have access to the acknowledgement configuration page. PeopleSoft does not deliver a default acknowledgement configuration as each organization's legal requirement may be different. But we do provide a configurable framework to allow you to create steps for acknowledgements within an activity guide. The flexibility of this framework allows you to create configurations to capture a simple acknowledgement or acceptance of candidates and employees as they agree to terms and conditions or to attest to the validity of information provided. The acknowledgement framework is effective dated, meaning you can configure acknowledgements and these will be displayed based on the configuration effective as of the activity guide instance creation date. You can also set the configuration status as either active or inactive. You can use the Configure Acknowledgement page to create an acknowledgement ID and to decide the various fields and details the acknowledgement step should contain. In the following demo, you will see the process of configuring an acknowledgement in detail. Demo: Configuring an acknowledgement. Let's configure an acknowledgement to be used within the PeopleSoft Fluid Life Events. First, log in as an administrator to the Workforce Administrator homepage and search for the Acknowledgement Configuration page. Enter an ID for your acknowledgement. On the Acknowledgement Configuration page, enter the details for the acknowledgement such as the effective date of this configuration and the status, whether it's active or inactive. You can create descriptions to identify how and where you may want to use this acknowledgement. There are a number of acknowledgement fields to choose from. Now, let's add a couple of text boxes, a terms and conditions link, and an I agree checkbox. In the Audit Trail Details section, you can add a header and select the fields you want to display on your acknowledgement. The Verify Identity section provides you with added security to enable user authentication when a user saves the acknowledgement page. Once you have configured your template, you can preview it using the Preview link. For more information on the acknowledgement framework, refer additional resources at the end of this spotlight video. Configuring a questionnaire. Like the acknowledgement framework, the questionnaire step is not delivered as system data. After configuring the questionnaire, you need to manually add it to your desired Fluid Life Event templates or even as a step in benefits enrollment. Only users with the appropriate roles will have access to the questionnaire framework. The questionnaire administrator role is a super user with full access to all data in the questionnaire framework. The questionnaire composer role can only access the Manage Questionnaires page and the common category, which is system delivered data. The questionnaire framework gives you the capability to create various questionnaire categories, pools for questions and answers, and smart answers, which are groups of predefined answers. Setting these up help administrators to quickly create new questionnaires or surveys whenever the need arises and tie them as a step in the activity guide composer. Demo: Configuring a questionnaire. To configure a questionnaire, first log in as an administrator to the Workforce Administrator homepage and search for the questionnaire category page. Here on the View Questionnaire Category page, you will see the existing questionnaire categories. We will add a new one for benefits. Now let's assign the Benefits Administrator Fluid role to have all rights with respect to question and answer security. Let's go to the questionnaires page. Click the Create Questionnaire button. Enter the details for the current questionnaire. Here we will select the newly created category, Benefits. This takes us to a guided process for creating a questionnaire. The first step is to define the questionnaire. Let's give access as public. This means that other users with access to the benefits category can also update and change the survey. Select Next. This is an optional step to enter any user instructions. Now let's click the Add New Question button and start creating the questions. First, we have a benefits ranking question. When you save a question, it takes you back to the Add Questions page, where you can see how your question will be displayed to the employees. Let's add a few more questions. This is a multiple choice question. Now let's create an open-ended question. We will choose a smart answer set for this question. You can specify the order in which you want the options to be displayed. Once you have added the questions, click Next to go to the next step. The Format Questionnaire step is relevant when you are dealing with long questionnaires, and it makes sense to order them into several groups. As our questionnaire contains just 4 questions, we can skip formatting. In step 5, you can preview the entire questionnaire as it would appear to your employees. Step 6 allows you to apply any special configuration for your questionnaire. Let's choose the option to allow users to update even after clicking the Save button. Step 7 allows you to add any of your questions or answers to the question or answer pool so they can be used again. With the final step in the guided process, we will activate the questionnaire and exit the process. On the questionnaires page, now you can see the newly created benefit survey questionnaire. For more information on the questionnaire framework, refer additional resources at the end of this Spotlight video. Setting up Fluid Life Events. Fluid Life Events templates can be created, cloned, or updated using the Activity Guide Composer. There are several points to note before we start to set up a new Fluid Life Events template. First is associating the new acknowledgement and questionnaire IDs with the Fluid Life Event category. Next, name the new template. You can give a 7-character name to the new template. This can include alphabets, numbers, as well as special characters. All instructional text you see in an activity guide can be modified to suit your organization's requirements. The text catalogs are maintained within the Setup HCM folder. You can filter for all the text IDs with respect to life events. The print and welcome text IDs listed here are used only in the classic version of the life events. The page text in the welcome and summary steps in the Fluid Life Events activity guide is configured within the activity guide itself. Once a template is created for a life event, it has to be identified as a Fluid Life Event template in Benefits. This can be done in the Fluid Templates page in eBenefits Life Event Setup pages. And finally, the new template has to be linked to the Fluid category. The newly created templates have to be linked to the Fluid category so that the new life event is available for employees to select in the Life Events page. Demo: Cloning and Adoption Template. Let's log in as an administrator to the Workforce Administrator homepage and search for the Categories page. Enter the Activity Guide category for Life Event. Add a new effective dated row for the Activity Guide category and go to the Steps tab. The acknowledgement step is system delivered in the life event category, and as the steps are ordered alphabetically, it's displayed first. In the additional step context, let's add the acknowledgement ID in the parameter value field and save the page. Now, let's add a new step for questionnaire. In the additional step context, let's add the questionnaire category and the questionnaire code we created earlier. Now we'll search for the Activity Guide Templates page and clone the Adoption Event template. Next, name the new template. You can give a 7-character name to the new template. click Continue, and we can see the new template displayed in the Activity Guide Templates page. Now let's update our new template to add the acknowledgement and questionnaire steps. The new template opens in an Activity Guide Composer framework. We can go through the steps and complete configuring our new adoption template. We will retain the default values of the adoption template and go to the select steps. Here, we will add the steps for acknowledgement and benefits survey. Use the Move Up and Move Down buttons to change the order of the newly added steps. You can also delete an existing step from the activity guide. As we have two summary steps, let's delete the benefits summary step from this template. We will retain the default values here in the display and processing step and move to the next. With the final review and activate step, the new template gets activated. If you want any additional changes made, you can use the Deactivate Activity Guide button, make the changes and activate the guide again. Now we have successfully cloned an adoption template. But before it can be deployed, this new template has to be identified as a Fluid Life Event template and linked to the Fluid category. For that, let's go to the Fluid Templates page. Select the new template we created. For the life event type, enter A, as it remains the same for all adoption templates. Now we have two adoption templates listed. If we try to deselect the active checkbox now, we get this error, which means that this template is still linked to the event category. We can make the template inactive only after removing it from the event category. Now let's go to the event category page. Click the Fluid Category tab. Enter a new effective date for the event category. Depending on the order in which you want the new template to appear, you can give a sequence number. Now let's delete the old template from this new effective dated row. We can now go back to the Fluid Templates page and deselect the other adoption template. We have now completed creating a customized adoption template. Let's take a quick recap of the topics covered. We started with a demo on how an employee uses a cloned adoption template which has two additional steps for acknowledgement and benefit survey. Then we saw in detail how the acknowledgement and questionnaire were configured and added as steps to the life event category. Finally, a demo of the actual process of cloning a PeopleSoft delivered life event template for adoption, which is the same template we saw being used in the very beginning of this spotlight. Additional resources. With this, we have come to the end of the spotlight video on Fluid Life Events. Here in the additional resources, you have links to various video feature overviews which give more information about the topics we dealt with in this spotlight. Thanks for watching.